So, being a singer and a songwriter, I had to find someone to work with when I was in my teens. And it was kind of the first time I realized that I really needed to just learn how to produce myself because I didn't have anything to show.
Yeah.
So, what I ended up finding was that, there's certain things that you need to know and tips that you need to just have in your back pocket for just finding producers to work with. Now, that Orko, in fact, is a producer, and he is my producer.
Hey.
So I thought he'd be perfect to talk with about this. Now, if you are a singer, or if you are, let's just say, someone who's getting into singing and you need a producer, this video is for you. Be sure to give it a like right now. Now let's hit it. The first tip that I wanted to go over is just know what it is that you're looking for. I made
Right.
this mistake because it's not that I didn't know what I wanted. I was doing dark pop, kind of writing my own music, producing my own stuff in the beginning. And when I started finding different producers who were in different genres, I ended up going into the genre that they were doing, right?
Right.
And that's just because, cool, like let's try things, let's collab. But it ended up taking me off track a little bit because I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So I kind of ended up getting more into like EDM and mainstream pop. So, my first suggestion and tip is define your sound and what you want to do because then from there you can decide who you want to work with.
Sure. And I think that's incredibly important to have a vision, especially if you're really trying to put together some kind of project. If you're just starting out though, and you really don't know what your sound is, maybe you like all kinds of music, and you want to try different people out. That's a way to go. But I do find that a lot of times it's singers that are, they just know somebody who goes, I make music, and they're like, cool, well then make music and let's do some music, and then they're just in whatever genre the producer is making, because at that point they're already more comfortable at making music. So I think that that's a great, a thing to just have your vision when you're ready. But if you're just checking things around or whatever, but have some kind of idea of what you want to do for sure.
100%. And then let's go and actually utilize, different platforms to find these producers. Now, I want to start with social media because you can search, like go to search and put in hashtag music producer, but even more specifically, pop producer, rock producer. So you can start just cold outreaching to people, but like look at their profiles. So if you
Yeah.
found like that Orko, see what kind of stuff or he's posting, or if you found anybody like, look at their actual profile page of what's the style of music they're posting about, what do they do, what does their bio say. But there are online platforms like Sound Better, Air Gigs, even Fiverr.
Fiverr. Yeah.
I mean, if you just do a Google search of like music producers, you'll find all kinds of websites. So you do need to kind of do that leg search, or the legwork of looking on different websites.
For sure. And then there's also just things like, Facebook groups. We have a top music attorney student group on Facebook, which is filled with just different artists and producers and songwriters and people in the industry. But there's other groups that are on Facebook as well. Make Pop Music is a great one to,
Mm.
if you want to meet other people to collaborate with that are producers. But just kind of searching around and just getting involved. The Reddit communities are a great place, but where you just kind of reach out and just kind of let people know what you're looking for, and just kind of put yourself out there. But yeah, and I mean, they'll give you their rates and stuff like that, or if they want to collab, but for sure.
Yeah, and so let's say you do find, a music producer, definitely just try something first. Don't get into like this whole
Yeah,
project if you're like, "Hey, I think you're the coolest thing since sliced bread and now I want you to produce my album." Like do an
for
initial
sure.
song and just to see how it goes because it's not even just the creative output. Are you guys on the same page? Does that person respect what you want to do? Because if you're in a room with someone who's telling you your ideas are cheesy or what you want to do is cheesy, don't work with them. Like
For
forget
sure.
those people. So find someone who sees your vision and then the whole process of like, are they going to sign a contract? Are they going to be helping you with marketing? Like the whole thing just to see if someone is a good fit.
And also, sometimes it's kind of tough too, like when you're just even trying to looking for producers and going through this step. So it's good that you already have examples ready too when you're ready to reach out to these producers, because as you're looking at their portfolio, you should kind of have something ready to go as well. Whether it's like, you have like a bunch of top lines that you've written, you show some karaoke, show some examples of stuff. But when you're reaching out to these Fiverr guys, when you're ready at that point, you should have something so they can even see if they can work with you.
Absolutely. So then let's say you guys do something together. You need to get a contract in place. And I'll always say, get a split sheet. I have a free training that you can go through. I'll link it down below, but you can get a free split sheet, which is just like we did the song, who owns it, who gets what, like have something simple in writing at a minimum. But obviously you want to get a more thorough long form agreement as well. So things like who has the right to release it? Who is getting credit?
Key. Yeah.
Right, especially if you're the producer, like, this, you have to protect yourself. You
For
have to
sure.
make demands on what you want to have for credit.
And it like the other things like exclusivity. So, a lot of producers will kind of like double dip with a lot of their beats. Like, so if you're a rapper and you're getting a beat, they might send it to somebody else has that same one. Like, are you having an exclusive beat? Are you getting your beats from beat stars? You know what I mean? But if you're looking, it's all aspects of a producer, not necessarily somebody that just makes a beat for you, but somebody that's actually helping you shape your song and bringing your vision to life, as it were. Like, there's a lot of times beat makers are, they'll just say they're producers, but they're not actually producing a song. They'll just kind of write a beat and then they'll send it out, or they'll just have it available. So I'm always more thinking of producers as somebody that actually will produce a record. So they might do the music, but then they're also shaping the way that it sounds and seeing it to its final product. So that's something to also consider when you're even just thinking about what kind of producer you're looking for. Are you looking for a beat maker or are you looking for a producer?
Yeah, and one tip I would suggest too is for singers out there, when you do end up finding someone that you dig working with, go above and beyond to make them feel like they matter. But vice versa, if you're the producer, when you have a release that comes out with your artist, make sure you shout out that artist. Make sure you post
Yeah.
about it because, you're both in this as kind of a partnership and it should never be one sided. And when you do small things like that, and you might even like get each other little gifts or cards or whatever. Just remember, like, this is a relationship. And if you find someone who's a good fit for you,
Yeah.
invest in that relationship. Like, pay them if you're not just doing like a 50-50 deal.
And
It all makes a big difference.
like, like a little pro tip, if let's say maybe you have a little bit more of a budget to you, then just like with mixers and mastering engineers, go for the people that you kind of want to work with. Look at the credits on albums. Go to Wikipedia, see who did the production on a certain song. You heard a song that came out. Just because you hear a song and it's a hit song on the radio, now obviously their inbox is going to be a lot more full, but that doesn't mean that they're huge producers. That could have been their first shot that they did. You might be able to get an indie artist rate to work with some of these producers. Look who produced them. Like, whatever song, shoot for the gold. All they can say is no. Obviously have a budget ready, but if you have a budget, do it. But you should be reaching out to mixers, mastering engineers. You should be looking who did a lot of the records that you like, because you can work with them. I know that that's how we literally will find our mixing and mastering engineers, is we'll just like, who mixed, this person's record that sounds really good. I would like to get them. We reach out to them and we see what we can make happen. It's that
That's
simple.
right. That's right. So if you are a singer and you are looking to, find a producer, these are some of our best tips, on how to find them, but also what to do once you find them.
Yeah,
And I'll just throw in a last one as far as just safety. Please, 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 if you don't know someone and they're like a
sure.
bedroom producer, that's cool. Like, don't go to someone's house that you don't know. Like, take an opportunity to meet at a coffee shop, see what's up, take someone with you. Like, I don't care if
Always
you're
take
a
someone with
girl or a
you.
guy. Like, just be safe. And also for producers, don't just invite people in that you
Right.
don't know. Because we, typically are working in our personal spaces, whether it's in our house or wherever. And so you just need to make sure that you are, putting yourself in the best position for success.